Thanks for staying with us For the Record. Bob Pauling, CEO of Mid-Carolina Electric Cooperative, and Ryan Mosier, spokesman for Duke Energy, joining me today. For the people that are watching at home, using power to watch us at home, what can they do or what should they do to help you get the word out?
I'll kick that off. On a bluebird day like today, not a big deal. Do what you want when you want to do it. But when we reach a critical situation, when it's really, really cold, the problem is in the mornings. And in South Carolina, it's about the heat pumps and the electric strip heat. So that's the biggest load in your houses. But if you look at the big picture, you know, when there's a hurricane coming, the governor gets up and say, hey, everybody, it's a hurricane coming, and you start preparing. But we hadn't done a good job from publicly addressing, hey, there's a winter storm with an issue of rolling blackouts. And basically, you need to listen to your utility. We're not going to tell you to turn your power off until it's really critical and it's time to turn your power off. So then again, the issue we have in the wintertime, it's going to be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So it is a very complicated, complex issue that we got to figure out how to overcome. But to us, you need to turn off most everything in your house except your heat. Make sure you keep your heat on. Don't run any large appliances, your dryer, your water heater, those type things. And just don't change a whole lot, but just keep your heat going so your pipes won't freeze.
Yeah. Right.
There are also energy efficiency programs that most utilities offer. I know Duke Energy does to customers, and we encourage them to think about participating in those, both at the residential and at the commercial level as well. Things that can help automate processes and allow for the control of certain devices so that electricity, when you don't need it, is something that we can put back on the grid or keep on the grid for the folks that do.
Right. Simply turning off a light when you leave the house. Does that do enough?
Well, every little bit helps, right? You know, the one tip that I like to talk about most often in the summertime is just close your blinds. That sun shining in can heat up the house 2, 3, 4 degrees. The other thing is, on your way out the door, if you have one of the computerized or automated thermostats, just take it down a couple of degrees or up a couple of degrees. That can make a significant difference in your energy bill.
Yeah, those things are running constantly, and if you imagine every home doing the same thing, that would be a lot. We talked a little bit about the concern. Is calling the lawmakers enough?
It's going to take all of the above. It's going to take a grand plan of everybody contributing to what's necessary. I mean, biggest thing is we got to get natural gas pipelines built. So the issue you have is you have permitting issues. So what can we do to use existing right-of-ways to build natural gas lines and those type things? But again, there's a lot of great ideas out there. We need to convene around the table and execute.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, December 24th, 2022 was a wake-up call for not just the utilities, but for also leaders across the state and the region. And so the conversations have started. The governor, the legislature, utility leaders, the regulators, everybody is involved in the conversation. So there's awareness. Now it's about the execution to make sure that we have what we need today, tomorrow, and in the future.
You know, and I mean, I remember that day vividly, and sometimes it does take something shocking to happen to get everyone to the table to start working on it. Yeah. When we talk about saving energy, I know a lot of people, their electric cars that are coming on, and there's the whole grid for that too. Where are we in that vein?
Well, electric cars are coming.
Yeah, they are.
All the major manufacturers have invested a lot of money, so they are coming. But the whole idea and the whole key is, when do you use power? At the most critical times of the day, and when it's really hot in the summertime, between 4 and 7 p.m. is when people need to be careful. And then the wintertime, between 6 and 9 a.m. is when people really need to be careful. So that's when you just need to be aware of your usage. Don't use your electric dryer during those time periods. You know, if you can keep your water heater elements off during those time periods, if you can adjust your thermostat where your heat strips won't come on during your time periods. Now, summertime's not that big of an issue because generally there's a thunderstorm somewhere around the state that's going to cool things off. From our perspective, wintertime to us is the key issue.
Ryan, is it going to take building a new power plant?
Well, that's the biggest part of the conversation right now, not just for electrification, but for the growth that we're seeing, exponential growth we're seeing in South Carolina. Electrification is part of that from an economic development perspective.
Right.
You look at all the announcements we've seen in the last couple of years in South Carolina, they all support electric vehicle manufacturing, BMW and places down in the low country. And so from that perspective, we absolutely need to see new generation, and we need to see it fairly quickly, and we need to see a lot of it. That's the only way we're going to be able to support South Carolina's continued prosperity now and in 10 years from now.
Yeah, Ryan and Bob, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
And talking about this. Still to come on For the Record, many Vietnam vets didn't get a warm welcome when they returned home, but one upstate sergeant got a big thank you recently, and he's sharing memories of serving with one of the most famous people to ever serve in the U.S. Army, in case you missed it.